big time weekend for gambling. Every weekend's a big time weekend for gambling. We got some games on slate with our friends at FanDuel Diggs. Let's do a quick pick 'em, shall we?
All right, so I got 5 of the bigger games this weekend.
Okay.
Browns at Ravens. Current line is -6.5 for the Ravens.
Hammer the Browns, especially after the Rex Ryan, Baker Mayfield thing. Let's go. Hammer the Brownies. This is a statement game, not only for the colors orange and brown, but for every human in that locker room. Freddie Kitchens he read the book, Offensive Play Calling for Dummies. They are going to dominate this weekend. I'll go with the Brownies.
Completely agree. Chiefs at Lions +6.5.
Lions +6.5. I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't know why. I think it's strictly because I made this big declaration that it's much more likely that the Lions beat the Chiefs than the Bills beat the Pats. So I just kind of have to stick with it. But I also like that Lions team. I like what Matt Patricia's building up there. I like that locker room after the game. It was a much different feel than in last year when it felt like everybody hated Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia kicked everybody out, said, get out of here. We're going to bring in young Danny Amendola. We're going to bring in people that want to do it our way. We're going to focus on technique. We're going to do our jobs just like we did in New England. We're going to find our own identity. They tied their first game. Everybody said ties stink. The Lions stink. And all they've done is stack a couple wins up. The Lions cover 6.5. But boy, Patty Mahomes, just like the last time he was in an indoor arena, is probably going to put up at least 4 Bills this weekend.
Patriots at Bills. Bills are +7.
Let's go ahead and hammer the Patriots. And let me tell you why. Last night, Tom Brady liked a video of somebody on NFL Network talking about how the Bills are going to upset the Patriots. Anybody that knows anything about the way Tom Brady operates whenever he feels slighted, when he feels jaded, when somebody talks just a little bit of trash on him, he targets that person and then he buries that person. Tom Brady wasn't just trolling there. Tom Brady was building a bigger chip on his shoulder. And somehow Bills Mafia, who does not deserve what's about to happen to him, does not deserve that NFL Network person adding a little bit more fuel to the fire. Tom Brady, Julian Edelman, Philip Dorsett, and those boys on defense who have not allowed a touchdown rushing or passing in the first 3 weeks for the first time, I think, ever. Somehow they lose Gronk. Tom gets older, and their team is even better now. Bills Mafia is in for a long day, and I would also hammer Dildo ends up on the field. I think it's at -140. Hammer that as well.
Agree. I got a stat for you there. Patriots have played 3 teams with no wins. Bills have played 3 teams with no wins. Patriots have won their games by 90 combined points. The Bills have won their games by 19 combined points.
You see that quick math there, 61-point differential there in favor of the greatest of all time, both as a coach, both as a player, and the defense, which if you go by one particular stat of not allowing a touchdown, greatest defense in the history of the
game. Vikings at Bears. Bears are -2.5.
Oh, this is a tough one. This was zero prep, called quick pick'em. Going to have to think about this one. Is anybody injured for the Bears?
No.
Kyle Long's dong was on the internet. He handled it in an incredible fashion. Tyreek Cohen, who probably felt terrible, gets a reprieve because Kyle Long being an incredible teammate, an incredible man, not making him feel sick about it for 2 years like some other people I might know. I'm joking. I like the Bears there, strictly because I'm not a big fan of the way Kirk Cousins plays football. Adam Thielen, good friend of the show. Kyle Rudolph, incredible football player, kind of a friend of the show. Not that big of a friend of the show, kind of a friend of the show. I like the Minnesota people. We were in Minnesota, had a great time. People forget about the Lake Minnetonka miracle where I pulled a swordfish out of there late in the night and ice fishing. I like the Minnesota people. I like the Minnesota Vikings. I don't believe in Kirk Cousins, though. Never have, never will. Even when he was at Michigan State with Dr. Larry Nassar and Evan Fox, I don't believe in him. I do believe in Chucky Pagano figuring them out. That defense in Chicago is going to Kirk Cousins. So I take the Bears there.
That game has the lowest total of the week at 38. 2 good defenses, 2 offenses.
Akeem Hicks might be out too, though.
Oh,
I have no idea who that is.
D. Lyman.
Pro Bowl D. Lyman.
Questionable knee injury.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That defense, there's probably another guy in there ready to eat. When you have Khalil Mack on the team, let me tell you what that does to the rest of the defensive line. Whenever you have like a Dwight Freeney or a Robert Mathis, what happens is their entire offense all week is focusing on how do we stop this guy. Okay, we're going to chip him with a tight end where every time a running back leaves the backfield, we're going to have him chip him as well. And then our tackle would just hopefully pick up the scraps at the end because he is much bigger, much less athletic than the end rusher. What they don't think about is the guys inside who are just going to have to gobble up blocks and things like that. I think Akeem Hicks, probably a great football player. I didn't know he existed until a couple minutes ago. But I assume even though he's down, it will hurt them. That offense has been preparing for Khalil Mack and what he can do and everything else. That'll just kind of be a plug-and-play player. Not forever. I think the middle of the line can obviously make a difference in a game, but when you got Khalil Mack, it's easier to rotate those particular positions because of how much focus and attention has to go on him. Bears cover for sure. What are they?
-2.5 there.
Yeah, that's an easy one there. That's an easy one.
Bear down.
Final game, Sunday night, prime time. Cowboys go to Saints. Saints are +2.5 at home.
Teddy Bridgewater gives an incredible speech after the game, thanking his teammates for believing in him, thanking the organization for making him the highest paid backup quarterback in football history, I believe, sticking with him, knowing that there's a chance that Drew Brees, who's been playing for 55 years, could potentially get injured. With that being said, has Jerry Jones given Dak Prescott $150 million yet?
Not yet.
Has Ezekiel Elliott reached his peak yet this season after traveling to Cabo?
Don't think so.
Has Amari Cooper gotten broken off as well? I go with the Cowboys right there, strictly because this is a money-driven business decision for Dak Prescott, who somehow met up with a QB guru this offseason and has become a completely different football player. The over-under is at 47. I would hammer the over on that as well. I like the Cowboys and the over for that game. I'm leaning that way. I think is a gambling term for it's not a lock. The Bears are a lock for me. I just think the Cowboys definitely pull that out there. I like what the Cowboys are doing. And I've said this before. Whenever the Cowboys are actually good at football and not just a hype machine, it's good for America because they're going to get shoved down our throat every single week because they are America's team. And Jerry Jones controls the TV rights, which negotiations are up every single year, it feels like. So every network's going to try to win over Jerry Jones. So they're going to put the Cowboys on TV. And we had to battle through all those years that they stunk. And now it's time we're actually going to get to pay off and see a good football team. I like the Cowboys a lot.
I think it's dangerous because they've played the Dolphins, Redskins, and Giants. So we're not sure how great they are. Going into the Dome on Sunday night, place is going to be rocking.
Place is going to be insane. Place is going to be a madhouse.
I hope that whistle guy is not there.
He's always there.
He's the worst.
Yeah, what's his deal? We get it. You can whistle good. Right? Yeah. Like, hey, maybe one time you're a guy. I mean, there was a tuba guy for the Colts that would come to every single game. He's actually called the Colts tuba guy. And he's a very talented guy. But, I mean, as a player, though, like, yeah, the tuba's awesome. But if he played something that was just obnoxious, like that whistle guy is, I would hope that somebody in the organization would be like, hey, let's put you up in a booth with closed windows. You know what I mean? Like, we appreciate your dedication. We're just going to lock you in here, and it's going to be more soundproof than Gumpy's phone call room back there. We're going to put you in there. You can whistle all you want. Free tickets because we appreciate your support. But get the hell out of here with that thing. It feels like I got to battle through a piercing noise the entire game, which, by the way, I like incredibly raucous atmospheres. I loved it whenever I was playing. I love it as a fan. I enjoy that. But it's just that one person that's right by the mic. There's Colts tuba guy. that guy's talented, too.
Legend.
What does he play it?
All game, I think. Just puts those lips together.
You can bring a tuba into the stadium?
Yeah, you can't breathe that in security.
Listen, the reason why that guy can get in there is he's a senior citizen white guy. It's obviously profiling. He's not going to kill anybody with that tuba. If he takes that thing to Memphis.
Well, he's going to be lucky if he doesn't get his throat slashed.
But if that instrument was one that was just a complete nuisance, now granted, it's just that guy's lips, so there's nothing you can say. Like, hey, man, stop blowing so hard. There's no way you can do that.
Or you'd say, oh, you want me to bust you in your mouth?
Yeah.
Like,
the whistle
Yeah.
guy? What if they put a muzzle on him? I know.
You look like Bane.
And it's probably good. I mean, it's a great atmosphere down there in the Superdome, but as a viewer, it's a little bit obnoxious sometimes. Just like sometimes whenever they have a camera or the sound person and they're right next to the most annoying human on earth. boo! And you can hear your dad yelling. Like I always think about the family members that are hearing their parents or their friends yelling directly into one of those things. I mean, it's not all figured out, but I like a nice raucous atmosphere. Primetime television, though, that guy Whistle's going to be wetting his lips all week getting ready for that. So maybe they lose. Maybe Dak Prescott gets affected by the dog whistler that is such a high pitch and so loud with incredible lung capacity that he can just blow for longer than any other human on earth, including professional blowers and fluffers. The guy is next level. I just hope I don't have to deal with it.
I feel like he's new. Like I assume he's been going to games for a long, long time. But as far as hearing him on TV, relatively new.
Just think about when he figured out he could do that. Everybody in his life was like, "Oh, so we're doing this? Like, this is what we got to deal with now because you learned this. We got to."
His wife at home while he's practicing.
Oh my God! Shut up. He's got dogs just going in circles around the entire neighborhood, and it's almost like it's very hard to find too. He wears that big ass whistle on his head. It is 10:55. We'll be back on the other side with more chatter. You're listening to the Pat McAfee Show.